What are some of the key things that you use every time you pick up a camera or even before you pick one up?
Well, I think what I try to do, like before we even bring the subject in, before we get a camera, I always start with lighting. That's sort of your foundation. It's like you get the light as close to what you're going to expect with the person, so really all you've got to do is fine tune it. So if you create this situation that somebody can walk into a situation that's beautifully lit, they look great, suddenly they're at ease, because one of the first things that they do is, subjects that have been in front of a camera a lot generally know when the lighting is good, and you want that just not to be a concern. You want them, all of the technical aspects to kind of fade into the background and just to be about them.
What about shooting celebrities? What's the magic that goes on there?
Well, celebrities are fun because it's like they're the type of people you kind of want to meet. So it's this great entree into their lives where you get to spend a little bit of time with them, find out a little bit about them. Sometimes the challenge there is when you're photographing somebody who's been photographed a lot is how do you create a defining photograph of somebody who's been photographed 1,000 times. So we usually try to have a lot of fun with it and just let them be themselves and not over direct things sometimes. If we've got a great concept, we'll go with that, but if they want to take it in another direction, I think it's really important to give them the space that it's a collaboration instead of, we're going to do this to you.
Are there any particular shoots that come to mind where it just took that turn and for the
we've done a lot that way. We did a shoot of Jose Canseco, and I was there. My wife's the stylist, and we're there with wardrobe for him, and he walks out for the shoot wearing matching pinstripe suits and pinstripe shorts. And that's one of those things you just thank the photo gods for Jose Canseco thinking the way he did. Because if you showed up with that stuff, he'd never wear it. So right. It's like when that happens, you go, okay, we had wardrobe, but this is so much better. I think that's where the mojo comes from. It comes from planning and then being willing to deviate from that plan. When all of a sudden something much better presents itself, you have to make sure you don't get in the way of a better photograph than you'd planned. So you plan ahead, but then plan to be flexible.
Okay, now looking at your career, what advice do you have for beginning photographers to get up to speed?
Well, the biggest thing that I would say is anybody who wants to be a portrait photographer is you have to go out there and learn to work with people and shoot a lot of photographs. Go up to people on the street and take a photograph of them. Learn to approach strangers because you're going to do that forever. I mean, most of the people that I've photographed, I'm photographing them for the first time, and it's go up, introduce yourself, tell them what you'd like to do, why you'd like to do a shot, involve them in the process. And one of the greatest pieces of advice I ever got from photographers when I was starting out, somebody said, go out and find 50 strangers, approach them and take a portrait of them that shows something about themselves. It's not just the exercise of, hi, I want to take a shot of you, but do it in a way that each photograph reveals a little bit about the subject. And I think that type of an exercise makes it so much easier to be in front of a camera.
Be sure to subscribe to our blog now to stay updated on my show, and we'll give you tips and insight to keep advancing your photography. Also, check out our guests' website for a closer look at their work. Tune in to our next episode of Advancing Your Photography for an inside look at another photographer's world. Until then, this is Marc Silber reminding you to get out and capture your own images of life.